So I wanted to do a quick breakdown of the MotorGuide Xi3 installation video on the Bonafide SS127. So it's a little bit different setup if you have the 107, because the front area here is set up a little bit differently, but you can still make it work with a little bit of adjustment. So first thing about this motor is it's the 55-pound 12-volt motor with the Pinpoint on it. So that gives you the ability to hold yourself in place. I did cut the shaft down on this, so that was pretty simple. Just a bolt up here and a few screws in the bottom, and you can get the top off here. It's pretty quick to get that released. Then there's 2 wire nuts inside. Undo those, and then you can slip the head off here. Now this is a composite shaft, so you need to be a little bit careful cutting it and making sure you're not going to cut the wires that are inside there. So there's some different methods of how to make that happen. That's a totally different discussion. I'm not going to cover that here. And then I did take it someplace where we align the bolt hole that goes through the back side with the motor, so everything was still going to be in line, and we used the drill press to cut that hole in there so everything would be set up perfectly. Put it all back together, slide it back in, and everything's good to go. So when we get to the actual installation on the hull of the kayak, so the first thing that I used was the MotorGuide quick release. This is the one that's designed for the Xi3 specifically. There's another one which is a general one. I think there's a heavy metal one too. This is just the plastic one. It's pretty simple. It's just a square block that has this slide through on it that, just kind of like a pin, but it has this latching mechanism. So this go on either side, so you can set up right or left, however you'd prefer to have it. And that allows me to, once I'm done at the end of the day, remove this motor really quickly, and quick installation too when you get onto the water. Now, one of the things that you may have noticed was I didn't feel comfortable having the whole mount here shifted way forward. Now, some people I've seen have it that way, and I just wasn't comfortable with that. So what I did is I actually removed the stock hard Bonafide lift handle on the front, and I just went online and purchased a flexible handle here, because I still needed to have a handle on front. And this will just get out of the way and give me that flexibility of having a handle, but it's still allowing me to have the motor and push it back a little bit farther. I was just a little more comfortable having that. There's a lot of guys that say, hey, you don't need to do anything. This is a really sturdy front end, and that you don't really need to do anything. Well, I added again a piece of plastic underneath to give it a little bit more stability on the underside. So down in the hatch, we're going to find that there's a cutting board underneath here that allows me to give a little bit more backing to this hull. And it's very simple to do. Again, just cut it basically the same shape as what the front area of the hull is, and drill 4 holes down through. And it was just really, really simple, and gives me a little bit more peace of mind that I'm not going to damage the hull by having something come up and smack this motor or something like that while I'm on the water and just flexing this plastic. So the next part of the install was the raise and lower mechanism. So this was a pretty good idea that I'd seen online. So you have a rope that's coming back to the cockpit area, which allows me to pull the motor up and raise it slowly when I'm on the water. And then the other one, which was a pretty ingenious idea, was to use a clip here, which connects to this would-be foot pedal, but here drilled a hole in that, and allows me to pull down, put an eyelet in the hull of the kayak, so that turns the pull back that I'd get from the seat into a down mechanism, and it's pretty simple to then have it release and allow that motor to be raised. So if you're looking at putting an Xi3 on your Bonafide, it's really easy to do. Buy the quick release mount and a couple little hardware to make it easy to let's try that again.
Couple pieces of hardware.
All right. So if you're looking to put an Xi3 on your Bonafide, it's really easy to do. I would recommend getting the MotorGuide provided quick release mount. That is a add-on feature there. Get a little bit longer bolts to mount through with the thicker cutting board, but overall it's a really simple installation. Wouldn't take you very long at all to make that happen, and then you're all set up to run. So hopefully this got some good ideas from how to make this work for you.